Video is there. Okay, I think we'll start. I think we have a decent number of people. I think it's already 4 p.m. Right.
Sure.
So Suraj, I'm audible, right?
Yes, Kevin.
All right. Just want to get that thing right. So okay. So hi everyone. Today we'll be having a small Q&A session on taxes for cryptocurrency with our CA Suraj Ramakrishnan. He's a tax expert and has a strong experience in the cryptocurrency space. Suraj, would you like to say a few words regarding this?
Thank you, Kevin, for the introduction, and thank you for obviously having me on this session. So good evening, friends, and thank you all for joining this session. My name is Suraj Ramakrishnan. I am a chartered accountant, been in the crypto line for more than 5 years now, and I have worked in a Big Four company and then also on a fintech startup, and obviously on the advisory of crypto and equities. So yes, so hopefully we will be able to answer some of your queries today, and if not, you can always reach out to us. And thank you all again for joining this session. And let's begin with Kevin. Kevin, you're on mute.
Oh, my apologies. So we had submitted a Google form, and we have some questions that we have picked for today's session. The first question is, I am a long-term cryptocurrency investor. Do I have to pay any long-term capital gains taxes?
Great. So that's a great question, Kevin. So to answer that question, I would like to just give you a brief. So there is two kinds of people. Obviously, there's an investor and a trader. Trader is someone who keeps churning his crypto on a daily basis, and investor is someone who probably hodls, if that is the term that they use. So yes, if it is an investor, if you are an investor in cryptocurrency also, you are liable to pay taxes. Unfortunately, there is a lot of gray area around this matter because capital gains as a tax is applicable only on capital assets. And as of today, and when we speak, the government hasn't really clarified whether cryptocurrency or any digital asset for that matter, will it be a capital asset or a good or a commodity. So the government has not really come up with that clarification. Having said that, probably the more conservative approach will be probably is to tax it under capital gains if you are holding it for a period of 36 months or more. So basically that's how the income tax for capital gains tells us. So something that you are holding for 36 months or less is a short-term capital gain, whereas something that you hold for 36 months or more is a long-term capital gain. So having said that, yes, so if you are an investor and you are holding a cryptocurrency for more than 36 months, you can pay taxes under capital gains, and you will be charged at the LTCG rate, which is 20% if it's a long-term capital gain. And if it's a short-term capital gain, you will be obviously paying taxes under the individual tax slab that a particular taxpayer falls. So that's the entire thing. But having said that, I would want to clarify that the government regulations are not yet clear whether the cryptocurrency should be accounted for as a capital asset. But yes, if the government comes up with a regulation saying that it is a capital asset, probably this is the taxation structure and the rates that would apply.
Right. It's quite interesting. Right. So we'll move on to the next question. Right. The question is, I receive payments from my clients in cryptocurrency. Am I liable to any taxes?
Okay. So that's an interesting question, Kevin. And, I've come across this question quite a few times because there are a lot of freelancers and a lot of companies, so to say, that are providing a service or a product for that matter and accepting cryptocurrency in exchange for currency. The normal business transaction, you would accept money through any channel, but there are a lot of companies that are probably accepting any form of digital asset, probably Bitcoin or any other altcoins, or for that matter, even stable coins. Having said that, so yes, anything that you receive for a service or a product that you have provided, anything in lieu that you receive, so be it cryptocurrency or any digital currency, yes, you will be paying taxes even if you are receiving cryptocurrency. Having said that, if you are receiving as a normal part of your business, you will be taxed under profits and gains of business or profession, and that would be the classification of the taxes. And yes, so you will be paying taxes even if you are receiving cryptocurrencies.
Right, right, right. Okay. So we will move on to the next question. So
Yes,
the question is, if I maintain an account in a foreign crypto exchange, right, do I have to pay any taxes on the transactions that I do from that account?
Great. This is also an interesting question, Kevin. Primarily because a lot of us, are maintaining money or probably cryptocurrencies in exchanges abroad. So typically, this could be a Coinbase or a Bitfinex or Binance or any other global crypto exchange, for that matter. So yes, also if you are maintaining an account in any of these exchanges which are obviously located abroad, the transactions that you conduct in the cryptocurrency will be taxed. Having said that, there is an important regulation also when you are filing your income tax returns. So when you are filing your income tax returns, there is a section where you need to disclose very clearly the foreign assets that you are holding. So also from the point of view of disclosure, whether you are holding a bank account or a cryptocurrency or any sort of account that you're holding abroad, that could also have an implication where you need to disclose in the income tax return that you file annually what are the accounts that you are holding. So yes, there is a taxation point of view also coming into play. Also, there is a disclosure point of view. So in terms of disclosure, you will have to disclose it in the annual income tax return that you file. Having said that, any transactions that also that you are conducting through an account that is obviously based abroad, yes, any gains will be taxed in India. If you are an Indian resident, you are based out of India, but you are holding an exchange abroad through which you are transacting and making gains in cryptocurrency, you will be paying taxes in India.
Right, right, right. So here's the next question, and it's been asked multiple times on this channel. Uh, when do you think the government will come up with the regulations for cryptocurrency?
That is something that I think all of us are very eagerly waiting for. So it's a little annoying when to say that all of us have to probably deal with a lot of ambiguity. Having said that, the government was supposed to come up with some of the regulations that you guys might be knowing. There was the Subhash Chandra Garg committee that was put in place back in 2018-19, and post which the recommendations of the committee were obviously not taken into account. Having said that, it doesn't match the rules and regulations of the day. So we are far moved behind that. In fact, this committee had actually proposed to ban cryptocurrencies, but obviously that's not the that's not the light of the day. The recommendations of the committee never saw the light of the day. And having said that, I think the government is looking at more proactive and inclusive and accommodative view as of today. Whereas we read in the newspapers also that probably they have constituted a new committee that will be put in place very soon, which will obviously consist of all the stakeholders in the crypto ecosystem. So having said that, yes, I think the government is working on something, and we should hear from them very soon, probably as soon as in the monsoon session of the parliament. So yes, so having said that, we are eagerly waiting for it, and sooner than later, I think we should see the government coming up with the rules and regulations with respect to cryptocurrency.
Right, right, right. Sure. So we'll move on to the next question. So the question is, I run a technology company. Can my company trade and invest in crypto? And what will be the tax implications there?
Great, great. So I would like to take you back to maybe February or March. So this is when the junior finance minister of our country, the Honorable Minister, Mr. Anurag Thakur, had claimed in the parliament that yes, transactions in cryptocurrency will be taxed. So this is a statement that he made. But obviously this statement has not been followed with any changes in the Income Tax Act or various laws that have been put in place, because the concept of a cryptocurrency or a digital currency itself is very new to our country. So having said that, although the government minister has clarified that yes, transactions in cryptocurrency will be taxed. So in that matter, yes, there are companies that probably are dealing in cryptocurrencies, and there's an important disclosure also that has to be made for technology companies. So there is, as of today, the government does not, tell who can deal and who can or cannot deal in cryptocurrency. So if you're an individual, you are a partnership, you are a company, you can freely go ahead and probably deal and transact in cryptocurrencies. So there is no stoppage with respect to that. Having said that, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has given a clarification that if it's a company, listed or unlisted, in your annual disclosures, you need to clearly come up with the transactions that you have made in cryptocurrency with respect to the profit, loss, or any kind of, basically a description of all transactions that you have conducted in cryptocurrency has to be made in form of a disclosure in your annual accounts. Also, probably the amount of cryptocurrency that you are holding, that has to be disclosed as on 31st of March, which is the closing. So yes, there is no prohibition with respect to a company, investing or trading in in cryptocurrency. But yes, there are some disclosure requirements that have to be met with.
Right. So the next question is something that I think is asked by people who think paying taxes for their crypto gains is not important. The question that they ask is, how can the government know that I have transacted in cryptocurrency?
Okay. So firstly, I'll tell you, just to maybe summarize with respect to what all that we've spoken. I'll just give you a brief. So basically, the Indian taxation system, that is the Income Tax Act of 1961, which is the Mother Act, so-called, and obviously there have been amendments that take place every year. That's probably that's how probably even cryptocurrency regulations will be introduced as an amendment in the Finance Act. So having said that, in the taxation system, there are various sections or under which you need to disclose your income. So there is income from salary, income from profits and gains of business or profession, income from other sources, income from capital gains. So these are the various categories under which you disclose your income that you have made in a particular given financial year. So having said that, we are only contemplating that probably if the government classifies a digital asset or cryptocurrency as a capital asset, so you will disclose it under capital gains and pay capital gains tax. Having said that, if it is not a capital asset, you will be paying taxes under income from other sources. So this is a deduction that we are doing right now, because as you can see, the government has not come up with any kind of clarification on this matter. So this is the whole background of paying taxes or not paying taxes. So if you are paying taxes under the income from other sources, I would advise you to pay as per your normal income tax. So having said that, if you are dealing in cryptocurrency, most likely there will be a taxation impact, and don't ignore that. That is the background to the question. And Kevin, could you probably come back to the core of the question? This was just the background that I had shared. So could you come back to the core of the question?
So the question was, can the government basically figure out if
Correct.
I have transacted in cryptocurrency?
Correct. Thanks. So the Indian taxation system basically works on a disclosure. So as an individual or as a company, you disclose what is the income that you have made, and that's how it works. So as an honest taxpayer, you should probably disclose all the incomes that anyone has particularly made in a given financial year. Having said that, the government has put in place a lot of machinery through which they can probably find out people who are underpaying taxes or who are not probably disclosing any income. So for any exchange that you are trading, you need to give your KYC, which probably includes the PAN card and the Aadhaar card and your bank details. Plus, even in the income tax form that you are filling annually return, you need to disclose the bank accounts through which you are transacting or the bank accounts that you are holding. So all in all, the government has a machinery in place through which probably they will know if you have transacted in cryptocurrency. Having said that, it's to be on the right side of the law and regulations, it's always advisable to disclose all the transactions and pay your taxes honestly. A lot of times the exchanges also can probably pass on some information with respect to high value transactions to the government. We don't know. That is a possibility. So yes, having said that, there are various methods through which the government can probably come to know the transactions or the dealings of an individual in cryptocurrency.
Right. So we'll as we mentioned earlier on that this is a small Q&A session. We'll be taking the final question. So is taxes applicable to crypto mining?
So yes, so that is again a gray area, Kevin, and that is a question that has come up very frequently. So mining is basically self-generation of an asset. So in the capital gains regime, there are sections where self-generated assets are also taxed, but the government has clearly laid down that only these 7-8 things, probably items, can be classified as a self-generated asset. So as of today, a digital asset or cryptocurrency for that matter does not fall under self-generated asset. So if it is a self-generated asset, which probably Bitcoin is, because you are generating it, it will be taxed. Having said that, the government has come up with 7 or 8 things which probably does not fall. The cryptocurrency and the digital asset does not fall under those self-generated assets. Having said that, Bitcoin mining as of today can fall under the capital gains purview if the government decides to include digital currency in the specified list of self-generated assets. But if the government does not include digital currency or cryptocurrency in the specified list of assets, in that case, Bitcoin mining or self-generation of Bitcoin mining will not be taxed.
Right. Well,
and it's important to note that the event of taxation, so mining as such will not be a taxation event. So once you are dealing with that mined Bitcoin that you get, probably that will, initiate a taxation event, because when you are mined, it just, you are still holding it, you are the owner. But once you are making some kind of gains out of that mining or the mined Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency, is when probably the taxation event will arise. That's my opinion.
Right. Cool. So I think that was the final question that we have taken today. Yeah, it's almost 20 minutes our target, right? So Suraj, any closing remarks regarding cryptocurrency in India as a summary?
So I'll just probably, for the people who have joined in a little late, summarize what we discussed today, so that it falls. So basically, let's look at 4 events that probably can happen when you are dealing or trading or investing in cryptocurrency. One is that you are a miner in the cryptocurrency field. So mining is one event. Second event is probably you are an investor. When I mean investor, you are not dealing in cryptocurrencies on a day in day out basis. Your plan is to probably only hodl with the currency and maybe buy it and keep it for a long term time. So you are viewing it as an investment, and that's why you are called an investor. So investment is one, the mining is one event, investment is one event. The third event that we can speak about is probably trading. So if you are an active trader, that is something that you do for your bread and butter, and you are basically actively doing it day in and day out, so you can be classified as a trader. So that is your business per se. Fourth is probably people who are receiving cryptocurrency as a consideration for the service or the product that they provide. So these are the 4 broadly classified events that we can see. Having said that, the taxability of cryptocurrency and digital asset will fall under these 4 events that we discussed. And even if it is not falling under these 4 events, in terms of classification and disclosure in your income tax return, will be under income from other sources as a safe bet. Okay, so that is probably where, if you are not able to classify it under capital gains or business or profession, you classify it under income from other sources, because as you likely said. But having said that, there is a lot of gray area, as we discussed, whether it will be classified as a capital asset or a commodity or a goods. So yes, having said that, we have discussed quite a few of them, but a lot of things will be certainly more clear when the government really comes up with rules and regulations, which we are expecting in a very short period of time. Having said that, I think I would want to put a small disclaimer also over here. Whatever we discussed today is obviously my personal opinion, and each one of you should probably consult your individual tax advisor before going ahead with any of the suggestions that we just discussed. So yes, so all of this was probably a discussion in general, and if you want probably more clarity regarding our thoughts, you could write to us. But as a caution, you must probably consult your individual tax advisor before going ahead. That's all,
Right.
Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. I think it was a great session. We had time, and hopefully we could impart good amount of knowledge, and we could share some knowledge with our folks who tuned in on a Saturday evening.
Yeah.
Look forward to more sessions like this.
I think it's Sunday today.
Really appreciate people who have taken time out and probably logged into.
So correct. So thank you guys. Hope you found this entire session insightful, and we'll see you next